Alright, so I have a sneaking suspicion. Well, I shouldn't call it that. I should call it a hypothesis. That, actually I don't have a hypothesis. I have questions. Affecting the weight of the airplane in Microsoft Flight Sim. We'll leave the passengers the same. Let's take all this out, actually. So, here's what my point of this video. Alright, it added it back in. I don't care. So we're at 10% fuel, 2 gallons per tank. Payload, oh here we go. We can bump this down to 0. Okay, so we're at 10% fuel, 4 gallons of fuel essentially. No cargo. Apparently Casper's, flying this thing. But my point is, I bet that if you increase the weight and the fuel, A, it's not going to do very much at all to the flight model, or B, it's going to make the plane feel a lot more, or a lot closer to the Just Flight sort of $50 flight model, if you will. So it's either going to do not much at all, if anything, or it's going to make all the difference. So I don't foresee a middle ground there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off. I've got the trim set to 0. I've got no flaps. I'm just going to take off, hold full back pressure, full deflection on the elevators, and I just want to see at what speed do we start to tip back? What speed does the nose start to lift? And I chose Coronado because I feel like they're the most plain, middle-of-the-road flight model developer there is. Not great, not terrible, right in the middle. Their planes look gorgeous, but alright. So let's give it a go, as one of the YouTubers I watch says, because I think he's like Scottish or something. Anyway, so park and brake off. We're going to apply brakes. I'm going to go static takeoff, full power, and then let the brakes off. Full power, let everything come up. Full back deflection, let's 0 trim. Light as a feather. We're going to try to see. Oh, right there. You know what I just realized? That's not on the speed tape. Okay, so I just tried it and I realized that the speed tape only picks up at 40, so it's not going to capture what time the nose lifted off. So I've got, you can't see it, but to my right I have my iPad with 4Flight pulled up, and it's got a ground speed meter in knots. So I'm going to, I wish I was cross-eyed so I could watch both, honestly, but I'm going to do my best to sit here and use the corner of my eye to see when it tips up and catch the ground speed. So here we go. Revved up, static takeoff, full deflection, bam. 22 knots. Alright, so let's add some fuel and weight and we'll try again. Alright, so we're back at the top of the runway here. I'm going to go as heavy as I can. Well, no, maybe not as heavy. Let's go like, yeah, let's go 100p on that, and then payload. I want to be like, so 3400 is our maximum takeoff weight. Let's go like roughly 3000. So, bam, okay. So, double check. Trim 0, flaps up. I'm going to hold full back pressure, and same deal. Static takeoff, let's go. And I have a feeling it should be on the speed tape by the time the nose lifts up, but we'll see how the sim does and how Coronado does. So ready? 3, 2, 1. But I'm going to keep my eye on, oh, I have parking brake on. That's okay, we'll just release parking brake. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, okay. That's funny. The tail dragging. That makes sense. Let me take the payload out. Oh, we're still full power. Let me take the payload out and see if, because it should be wing tanks on the fuel, so I don't think that'll tip us backwards, but that was interesting. So let's do that. Let's do no payload, full fuel. I don't want to lose any in taxi. So we're at 24 out of 34. Let's make our pilots, 190. Because I want to add some weight, but I don't want it to be in the back. So I feel like we're not 1900. I feel like we're, close enough forward as opposed to aft, like maybe the bags and stuff was. Okay, so let's slew this baby back where she belongs. Slow mode's the best. I never use it. It's so convenient. Alright. So here we are. Is my park brake on or not? I have no idea. So, my thinking is now that the weight's more in the front. Anyway. So, let's go. Actually, I can do an exterior view. Yeah, let's do it inside. Let's see if parking brake's on. It's not. Okay. Full brakes. Full throttle. Full back deflection. I got a feeling it's going to do the same thing, but we'll see. No. We're rolling. 26. Wow. So really, not much different in the nose coming up. So that's interesting. But let's do a little flight test with almost no weight versus like close to maximum takeoff weight. Let's go 9% there and 0% on that. So we're at 2184 out of 3400. So I think I can take off here. I don't think I'm going to have any issues. Let's do our normal trim. And we'll do takeoff flaps. Alright, let's see what we got now. So just a normal takeoff. I want to see just simply how it feels to be this light. Because I've never flown this light in the sim. Or in real life, I guess. Oh, we're already kind of popping up. I am very quickly accelerating. Get gear up. Oh wow, yeah. See, my thought, or like I said before, I figured that it wouldn't change the flight characteristics that much, but it does feel light. But honestly, as I'm banking, the pitch axis feels very loose, whereas it usually does not. But the roll feels fairly similar as to what I remember feeling on this. So where's our airport here? There it is. Let's try to get a land. We'll approach, get gear down. And this isn't the nicest approach. Full flaps. Where's my runway? There it is. Let's just see how it handles on an approach and landing here. Side note, the Coronado V-tail Bonanza is such a pretty plane, dude. Oh my goodness. You know what I wish I wish Black Square would do an analog or just a overhaul on Coronado products to have the system modeling of them with the beauty of Coronado. Get out of here. Get out of town, eh? Tony. Alright, let's go for an approach. Power idle. That was a bad approach, but the way it lands feels the same. I'm going full brakes. Honestly, sort of the landing roll feels the exact same as it would normally. But yeah, so let's get stinking heavy, man. And the reason I had this idea is because the other day I was in flight, in a flight, let's go 100 on both, that we're right at maximum takeoff weight. So nobody better eat a peanut or we're dunzos. But I was, let me get out of this ground roll here. Get onto a taxiway. It definitely takes a lot more power to taxi, so that bodes well for the physics of more weight than flight sim. But I was in a flight and I added like a bunch of fuel mid-flight, and the airplane did not move. It didn't change. It was on autopilot. Nothing happened. No minor adjustments, nothing. And I thought, that's weird, you know. We just added a bunch of, you know, like a couple 100 pounds of fuel. You would think it would change in some way, but then it got me thinking that maybe this sim just doesn't matter what weights you have in here, but I'm starting to think I'm wrong with that hypothesis. And I'm going to bump the volume down on the sim a little bit. I don't know if it's too loud or not. But I'm starting to think I'm wrong with that, A, and B, I hope to see in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 somehow, some way they could implement the possibility of overloading your aircraft past maximum takeoff weight, because you just saw me slide everything up to 100 payload and fuel, and it didn't let me exceed it. I wonder if there's another way to do it. I guess I could just put an extra digit here and see what it does. Oh, it does. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. We'll have fun with that in a second. Let's just go normal here. That's so funny. And quite the pickle now. Slew mode. Ooh. It wants to. It's got like 1 pound of pressure on the nose gear tire. Anyway. So let's get taxiing up to take off here. Let's get our trim back to normal. It is. But like I said, it does take a lot more throttle to get this thing to break the ground friction there. But anyway, we're going a little fast now. Same config as before, just with maximum takeoff weight. So here we go. I want to see how it feels in the air. And my other hypothesis is that this is going to, for the most part, feel very similar to Just Flight's flight model. You know, just not too responsive like everything it seems to be in the sim. So let's pop the nose up here. Gear up. It's definitely a lot slower getting speed than before. But we're almost stalling. I want to say the pitch access feels a little sluggish-ier, a little sluggier. I don't know how to describe that. We'll just stay open, full power like I think I did last time. The roll, I don't know, it kind of feels the same. I'd have to review footage, but if it's different, it's not much different. And honestly, same with elevator. It's definitely different, but it's not much different at all. So that's not, I guess that falls into my first hypothesis, that it's not going to do much. But I am surprised at the ground physics. I mean, you sort of saw, well, you know, if you go over your limit, you're going to drop the tail into the pavement, so that's interesting. And I almost wonder if that has anything to do with the Microsoft Flight Sim update that improved ground physics and ground handling. That would not surprise me. But let's hit an approach in the big fat pig heavy plane. You know, I was kind of hoping that it's gonna feel a lot different. Super heavy. Honestly, that was my main selling point with this video. I was gonna everything can feel like just flight. You just put a bunch of schmutz in it. And that's not the case, so. Alright, we're dumping gear way before we're supposed to. But there's some brownie points to just flight. You know, it definitely got, you know, a reason why their stuff's expensive. By the way, I have the Rex AccuSeason tree pack stuff on automated, and it's beautiful. It's just like it is outside. We're starting to get orange up here, and it's nice to see it in the sim. And so it's a lot nicer to not have to mess with it, because I used to keep it on manual and just change it to whatever I felt like that day, but it's annoying. Automated's the way to go. Alright, here we go. Way fast, way high. It's the way I usually am. Okay. Honestly, no discernible difference. Again, except for that tail definitely wants to fall back. And obviously I'm going all over the place here, but really the only difference is sort of the ground roll taxi physics. And so you could see it there. Once we stopped and came back, it wanted to pop up. But let's get in the air and let's add in 1,000 pounds and see what happens. I'm hoping the thing will stall and just fall out of the sky, but who knows. We're gonna have fun with it regardless. Set my trim. That's pretty good. Flaps are set for takeoff. Sorry, I just swapped everything around to do like my throttle's on the right, my flight stick is on the, or my throttle's on the left and flight stick's on the right, because I'm starting to do first officer config in the Airbus. So it's weird having my throttle quadrant on the left, but that's alright. So if you see me looking, that's me actively in real life trying to find where my stuff is. Alright. So we're going to take off like normal, and then I'm just going to add 1,000 pounds in the back seat. Otherwise known as your mom. Got you, nerd. Fat pig mom. Alright. I do apologize if your mom is a fat pig. Any viewers out there, that's unfortunate. Alright, here we go. Airspeed is slowly alive. And there's 60. Just gonna let the nose come up a bit. Get the gear up. Get a little speed and ground effect. Because Lord knows it's not gonna do it while it's climbing. I mean, just look how pretty this VTOL Bonanza is, dude. What a beautiful plane. I want to get some altitude before I add the, before I put your mom in the back. Let's go flaps up. Beautiful. I remember sometime after I bought this, almost not a year ago, but like maybe 10 months ago, I was actually at my local regional airport and I saw somebody, you know, arrive in an actual VTOL Bonanza, and I had my camera there kind of taking pictures of, you know, plane spotting and stuff. This guy pulls up and he probably thought I was a lunatic or an R word because I was going bananas for his Bonanza. That's the first time I'd ever seen a VTOL in person. You better believe I was snapping pictures of it. Alright. So that's pretty good. We're about 1,400 feet off the 1,400 feet AGL here. Kind of try to level out. I almost wonder if I should put the autopilot on. That's too much work. Okay. So let's slap in 1,000 pounds. I'll put it in aft bag because I feel like that's farther back than aft passenger. Are you ready? This thing should go nose up and fall out of the sky. We'll see. Oh, went nose up. Can I fight it? Let's add a crazy amount. Let's go 8,000 pounds. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, we're definitely done. So that's good to know. That's so funny. Huh. I'm surprised my FS Realistic didn't do the scream. I'm getting a gear horn right now, really. There we go, guys. Now we're safe. I don't know what I really... I thought I put 8,000, it's shown 3,000. Anyway. I don't know what I really proved with this video, but I hope you had fun with me. And, that's kind of a solipsistic thing to look at. It could be an album cover for an indie band. That's my reset view when I hit, reset. Here you go. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be sure to keep doing fun videos that I make fun of your mom in. So, subscribe.